Welcome to today's episode, and thank you so very much for your support. And before we begin our lesson, take some time to subscribe in the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And once again, thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you. In today's lesson, we want to look at Igcse, economics, and we want to look at the topic, the basic economic problem. The basic economic problem. Now, this is a very, very important topic in economics. Here, we will have some specific objectives. So our learning objectives will be, number 1, the economic problem itself. Economic problem. Second objective is the difference between a free good and private stroke economic good. So those are the two specific objectives we want to make sure by the end of the lesson, guys, we are able to figure out what this is. Now let's look at the basic economic problem that all economists have to try and solve. Now, the basic economic problem is scarcity of resources. Scarcity. While our wants are endless, unlimited, infinite. So the problem is scarcity. This is the economic problem. So, why scarcity? You know very well that our needs, our wants are endless. The wants cannot be fulfilled. There are so many. They are infinite. They are endless. They are unlimited. While the resources that we have available are finite or limited or scarce. This is the genesis of the economic problem. Now, as individuals, we may desire a lot of things. We may desire luxury items, which our resources may not be able to afford at a given point in time. So, that is what we are referring to as unlimited wants. So in this case, we will say, because of scarcity of resources, we have to make choices. You have to choose what to be done first. And therefore the choices will involve sacrifices. And those sacrifices is what we call opportunity cost. Look at that, guys. Scarcity leads to choices. And the choice you make involves an opportunity cost. Now let's see then how this problem affects individuals, how it affects workers, how it affects producers and how the government faces the problem. So the effect on individuals is, for instance, as a human being, I would like to purchase, for example, a house, a car, and what else? Let's say a TV. My resources may not be enough to allow me purchase all these things at the same time. Therefore, I have to make a choice. So let's assume my preference, number one, is a house. The second product, I would have bought maybe a car. Then the TV is a third choice. If I choose to purchase a house, and that means I cannot be able to purchase the car and the TV. Clearly, scarcity has been elaborated there. We know very well again, we do not have enough natural resources. For instance, oil is limited in supply. Therefore, when farms are making decisions on what to produce, they need to bear in mind that concept of scarcity. So, to farms, because of scarcity of their resources, they may not produce everything that they want. That means they have to make a choice. So due to scarcity, they have to make a choice. So let's assume they want to purchase machine A or B. However, machine A consumes a lot of oil, even though it's efficient. So in this case, the farm may go for machine B. So that will mean, due to that choice, they have to sacrifice the first choice. Okay? Government can also be faced with this problem. Now we know very well that government gets its money from taxes. However, the revenue collected, the tax revenue, may not be enough to produce all the goods and services that the government may want to produce. So in that case, for instance, if the government has option of building roads or schools, and the money available is only enough to produce, let's say, roads, then they have to sacrifice schools. So they are doing this because of scarcity of resources. Moving on, we want to talk about the two types of goods. We want to look at the two types of goods, that is free and economic or private goods. So let's start with free goods. Free goods. What is a free good? A free good is a good whose use does not involve an opportunity cost. A good whose use does not involve an opportunity cost. So for instance, air that we breathe is a free good because there is no any sacrifice that we have to make in order to get the good. Sunlight is a free good. Sunlight is a free good. We do not have to sacrifice anything in order to get sunlight. Rain is a free good. We do not have to sacrifice anything to get rain. Therefore, clearly, when defining free goods, opportunity cost is important. So goods whose use does not involve an opportunity cost. What about economic goods? An economic good is a good whose use involves an opportunity cost. A good whose use involves an opportunity cost. So here, we can also call them private goods. Private goods. To use an economic good, you have to make some sacrifices. For example, purchasing a car involves sacrificing, for instance, buying a house. Paying for education involves a sacrifice. Maybe money that could have been used to set up a business is now used to pay for your education. So that is an opportunity cost. So therefore, the difference between a free good and an economic good is that an economic good involves an opportunity cost. Thank you so much, guys. See you next lesson.